Hey the rulers, today we are taking a look at Tyler Tompkins' Gas Killua combo list. Let's go ahead and jump right in. This session brought to you by Odyssey Games for pre-orders and sealed product, CCG Prime for tons of singles and supplies, Cardo Doko for international rulers looking for product, and FoulLibrary.com for articles and wonderful deck lists, as well as our guest lecturer members Vite Ramen, King Pearlshine, and Mognite. Class is in session. So this is the list. It is designed to draw your whole deck, play gas, and kill your opponent by flipping over Killua, whether it be a board of little tiny dudes that are getting pumped by gas, or just reanimating a Grand Leon and swinging for lethal. We are obviously playing Killua because it's, what you have to do. Keep in mind that we are playing only 2 copies of the contract in what you're seeing here, but it's very easy to kind of update this list if you do play 4 copies of the contract to just get rid of the rewriting laws. It's essentially just like filler space to make the deck thinner, so you can just replace those with Divine Lightnings to be able to do it more consistently. This is a more aggressive deck, but you saw that it did have some protection, so like if your opponent does give the opportunity to go in early, you can. However, it's very comfortable just waiting to turn like 3 or turn 4 to try to push in by protecting itself with things like the Lorites and the Fairer spells. The deck is also playing some protection in the fact that you have Child of the Fire Moon to be able to like keep something from being cancelled. Keep in mind though that this does not work against Memory of Worlds, which is seeing some resurgence or seeing some kind of higher rates of play because of the fact that it prevents the Child of the Fire Moon doesn't prevent it. So just keep that in mind kind of as you're playing out. And obviously we're using Child of the Crimson Wind to be able to recover a Grand Leon before it gets sacked and then just kill your opponent. So just kind of some notes. We're playing 2 copies of Rewriting Laws because it cycles, as well as 2 copies of Divine Lightning into Predator, which can turn into 4. Keep that in mind. And then Phantasmal Ascendant to help ramp up to get to the chance of a protected combo push earlier on, which is nice. Melfi for some cycling as well, same kind of thing, and it's a body that becomes a lot bigger with gas. 4 copies of Grand Leon to be able to burn your opponent and get it to the graveyard to be able to set up for not having to do as much damage to find the lethal. 3 copies of Allosaurus for a kind of a burst kind of turn, because you can just cast Allosaurus, name ice counters, and just remove all 4 ice counters from your Killua in 1 turn and draw 4 cards, which is awesome. Then you can do 3 copies of gas to just kind of again give everything that +12/+12 swiftness, pierce, precision, and kind of really go in there. And then the protection package being 4 Lorite and 4 Fairer spell. The draw engine package as well being no bite, no fight, because this is essentially Pot of Greed for 1 at quick cast speed, which is kind of crazy, as well as Prototype Magi Trooper for, again, a cheap free body that cycles through the deck and then just lets you be able to have another body to pump up with gas. And then a few copies of Sealed One-Eye Dragon for additional draw power, spot removal, or some additional push for lethal there. If you're not quite there after pushing in aggression, you can just burn your opponent out. So that is the deck. It's pretty straightforward. It is kind of one trick. It does have some protection elements to it, so it's definitely kind of a more aggro-ish style approach to Killua. If you're trying to play more of a control mid-range kind of, you expect to see some of her other cards that aren't really gas related. Gas is kind of the pinnacle of this deck though, so just kind of keep that in mind as you're playing against it or as playing with it, that you really need gas to be able to push through that lethal damage, particularly because of giving that pierce is the biggest piece there. But that is the list. Huge thanks to Tyler Tompkins for shipping us this list and playing it on the channel. You can find a link to this list directly in the description down below. We're curious to see what you're playing with Killua, especially if you are playing full contracts, but let us know how it's going for you in the comments section. And until next time, this is DMO73 saying class dismissed.